What is up, traders? Welcome to the official Trade Talk channel, where I show you how I analyze price for the most consistent and higher probable entries to help you guys become better traders. Today we're going to be talking about the monthly close. It's in 5 days. I am looking for a bit of a relief rally, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the reasons why. If that sounds good to you, make sure you stick around until the end. Bitget, the new partners for the Trade Talk community. They have received regulatory licenses for the US, Canada, as well as Australia, making them a trusted exchange. Perfect for US users and no KYC. They have different options such as Quanto, which is a swap futures contract, as well as copy trading. Trading on Bitget can be done through either the mobile app or web applications. Bitget has built a reputation of being a safe, dependable, and valid platform. Compared to most popular crypto exchanges, Bitget has by far the lowest transaction fees. The trading platforms are easy to operate, making the deposit and withdrawal process very straightforward. Placing trades on the platform is easy and executions are fantastic. The user interface is nice to look at and not clunky like other exchanges I've used in the past, so if you would like to give Bitget a chance, there is a link in the description down below, and use my referral code XTSC. Once again, that is X-Ray Tango Sierra Charlie when you sign up. Make your first on-chain or fiat deposit, transfer it into your USDT margined futures account, and you will receive a tiered reward of up to $4,000. Show them some love. New sponsor. Click the link. I am going to go out to the 12-month chart, as there is something for you to see here. Up here, you can see at $28,990, that is going to be yearly supply. If we go out here to the weekly, you can see that yearly supply comes in around all these wicks down here, and you also have a bullish up close weekly candle right up there. So we could potentially see price trade up to that, and I will be watching weekly and daily support to see if that area holds. If we do get a daily support hold down here at $18,948, I am going to be looking for bullish entries for the mean reversion trade. Alright, so here is the weekly time frame. The reason I have this pulled up is simple. I just wanted you guys to see how oversold this market is. I'm sure you've seen it before. We've been oversold since last week when we had the massive capitulation move to the downside. You can see that Stokes are also oversold, but printing a little bit of bullish divergence here on the Stokes. So we are kind of looking for this area to hold as support. We do have this trend line that's, caught this swing low, and we're currently into it there. We also, if we go over here to this chart, you're going to basically see a pitchfork that I have drawn in here, and we also bounced off of the bottom end of that channel. So talking about the capitulation occurred here when we broke down below the 200 simple. I guess a lot of people assumed that that level was going to hold, so a lot of people started to accumulate as price started to trade down into that region. And even though we don't have a massive capitulation wick that we would technically want to see inside of price action, we don't have that. Even on a daily, we don't have that big capitulation wick. We do know that there was capitulation because we can look at on-chain data to show us. So here is the Bitcoin realized loss chart, and when we had this breakdown, we realized almost $7 billion of realized loss through this. So that is capitulation. If we come over here, you can see the trend score. You can see that people have been accumulating this market for like the last 35 days, and we did get massive liquidations when we did break down last week. Right through there. So that's the breakdown. This is where your 200 simple on the weekly is. This big down day here broke down below. That's when you liquidated all of those people. So that is a capitulation. If we come over here and you can look at the drop that we've seen on open interest, that is also capitulation. So we're kind of basically looking for support to hold so we can get long and we can target that mean reversion trade. Let's go back over here to this chart where I have the Bollinger Bands. Basically what I was looking for was a mean reversion trade. try to find support or buy off of support and let price catch up to this Bollinger Band mean. Remember, I said last week that this price action could trade sideways and then the mean could catch back up, and something similar to this could occur once again. We just don't know how much more selling is going on. I think that you're probably going to see a relief pretty soon, since we had the Fed meeting and we know what they're looking for. They're watching CPI. So I expect volatility to start to compress. So we're not looking for any massive volatile moves to the upside. We will be looking for support to buy. There is another chart that I want to show you real quick. So this is basically the NASDAQ 100 stocks above the 200-day moving average. The reason I'm pulling this chart up is because here is '08. Typically when we get these big, strong bear market moves, you will get these like points in the price where that capitulation happens and then the markets start to bounce. We've had several of these moves where we've had these big down moves that basically causes capitulation, and most of the time, you get the reversion trade. So this is what we're looking for. We got a similar spike to this. This is where we currently are right now. That is a big long wick down there, and look how far of a move we got. So even though we're not seeing a capitulation on Bitcoin, we are seeing slight capitulation across other asset classes. Here is the S&P 500. I pulled this up. We were into weekly support. We closed below it, but then last week we had this big move back to the upside, closing above last week's open. So that is bullish. If we go to the daily, well, it's not supremely bullish, but I think what we're going to see on this and Bitcoin is, I think this was your near-term low for now. I think the trade is going to be looking for support and then look to trade the range. Look for a range to set in and look for it to last for several weeks to months. Look to trade the low end of the ranges and look to sell in the upper end of the ranges. So going back over here to Bitcoin, you can see that the S&P 500 had a bigger move up. So Bitcoin once again is acting like the laggard, which is normal because Bitcoin is one of the most risky asset classes in the world. So when you have a big move lower, bear market territory on your risk assets, Bitcoin's going to suffer more greatly than they will. So also when you do get those capitulation moves to the downside and then people start to really buy it up again, you get those sharp inclines back to the upside. We haven't gotten that on Bitcoin yet. So we're watching daily support and weekly support. Currently you have a daily support at 19,968 and then you have another daily support, the main one that I'm watching, which is down at 18,948. Now there's nothing that says it has to go down there, but if we do get a move down there, that I will be looking to buy that. Daily res 22,000. So this is similar to what I'm looking for to play out on in the next several weeks. Something like this. That's what we're looking for, and we can trade this. We don't need a lot of volatility. We don't need a lot of momentum. We can absolutely take high probable entries at these locations and have profitable trades take place. All right, so one more thing. I'm going to go look at another mean reversion chart. Let me come over here to this one, and let's pull up this thing. Now, this thing is very bright. It's very weird looking, but I just want to show you just how extended this market is. So if we come back over here to where we had our bear market of 2017, the yellow line is your mean, and the outer boundaries of this is similar to a Bollinger Band. It's like the highest, utmost levels that option markets will price in. All right, so this is basically down in here is your outer bounds to the downside, and you can see that when we had that capitulation move from the 6,000 floor down below all this stuff, you were absolutely broken down. Then you started that sideways, that slow price action until the reversion happened. So that's similar to what we're looking for. We also got that in March 2020 during the pandemic when we had that big spike to the downside and a capitulation low. So if we come over here and you can see this here, we got down in those regions. All right, similar to that. Now on this one and the $3,000 floor, we got much lower. We had an old all-time high at $19,800 that a lot of people were looking to be buyers again, and I think that's essentially what slowed down price here. But with this, with the RSI, with the MACDs, with basically all of your momentum oscillators, they're going to be pegged on the weekly time frame as massively oversold, and typically those have really been good areas to buy. The MVRVZ score, open interest is down, we know that, so we're looking for the open interest to start its small climb again, and we can look to get position for that. Here's the MVRVZ score. We know that we're in undervalued region. This is the undervalued region. This is where you want to be a buyer if you are looking to be a buyer on this asset. Every single time in Bitcoin's history, this area has been a decent place to buy. Now, obviously, you got to manage your downside risk because no one knows if the bottom is in or not, or even if we're getting close to a bottom or not. It will be dependent on the Fed. If the Fed continues its aggressive hawkish nature, then we could see more lows be put in, lower lows be put in. But if CPI numbers in the next couple months start to trend lower, the Fed will become more dovish. That would help also to put a bid under the markets. Now, I'm not saying we're looking for new all-time highs. I'm just simply saying that there is a relief rally probably on the cards for the next few weeks, and we will be looking to trade that up to the upside, looking for the return to the mean, a reversion trade. Now, this indicator has the reversion or the mean reversion setting right at monthly support at that $35,000 level. We do have a gap up there on the CME chart to fill if prices were to get back up there. So if we do find a near-term low down here, you could trade all the way back up to $35,000 and still remain bearish. You will still be structured bearishly. So that is a pretty good size range, and that's what I'm looking to capitalize on. You guys have a fantastic day. If you liked the video, please make sure you communicate that to me by smashing that like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed, maybe consider doing so. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you trade safe, make sure you trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.